Who's ready for another dose of Brucey Ball? Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to Line of Predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. Crystal Palace away tomorrow night, 8 PM kickoff at Selhurst Park. Live, I think, on Amazon Prime. So don't forget to tune in for that thriller, Brucey v. Why. What a way to spend your Friday night. As always, I'll be setting another like target. Last week I set 125. Every other week we've hit more than 125. But last week we failed, guys. I think we only got around about 90. But the other games, this video has gone out nearly 2 days before the game. Last week was short notice. It went out on... What day was the game? Was it Saturday? I think it went out on the Friday night, and the game was on the Saturday morning. So for just a few hours, 12, 16 hours, the video was up for, and got around about 90 likes. So that's still pretty good going. It was ambitious. I didn't count for how short a time we had to hit the likes, but this week we've got a little bit longer, so I'm going to hit that 125 again. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV, and on all social medias. Let's get into the ins and outs then from Brucey's press conference this morning. And Callum Wilson, the big news everyone wanted to hear about is that he is expected to play. Brucey says that he will be involved. He rested him last week against Chelsea, which was a little bit disappointing. Not even saying in the squad, to be fair. I thought he would have at least made the bench, but you know, it is fair play to Brucey for that one. I think it's probably good going. We're never really going to win that game, or we're always going to not have a great amount of shots on target, possession, opportunities in the final third. So to rest him for that game probably was a good idea. I'd like to think he'll have more opportunities against Crystal Palace. No disrespect to Crystal Palace, but they're not quite Chelsea either. So hopefully he's fit enough to get in from the start. He's trained all week, so fingers crossed we can get Callum Wilson in there, because this is the kind of game he should be thriving in. Hopefully he can get a few chances and a couple of goals. His partner though, Ryan Fraser, he's another one who's been on the sidelines for the last couple of weeks. He isn't expected to play. Brucey says he'll still be out for another week or so. The sooner we can get Ryan Fraser back, partner and Callum Wilson, setting each other up as they have done for Bournemouth for the last couple of years, the better. John Joe Shelvey will be back in the squad as he was last week. He made the bench, I think maybe just to fill up a spot. He was an unused sub. He's been back in training for the last week or two, as has Matt Ritchie. He didn't make the squad last week, but Brucey says that he will be involved this week. I'd imagine from the bench. I don't expect him to start at all, but to get Matt Ritchie back in the squad, an option off the bench, that's great news. Dwight Gale as well is also back in training. He's not expected to be in the squad though. He might still be another week or two as well. But another striker to come in as cover is great news, as Andy Carroll is now out, which is taking quite a while, to be fair. Injury prone Andy Carroll, crocked all the time, always on the sidelines. He's played 9 games this season. He had a pretty good pre-season. I don't think he's been injured since, I don't know, March or April, which is pretty good going for Andy Carroll's standards. Not bad, well done. Since before lockdown, I think. He was getting, well done, Andy. And a big doubt is the captain, Jamal Lascelles. Brucey says he's a doubt. He hasn't gone into details on the injury, but he says doubt. He's been a doubt a few times. Brucey's put him as a doubt. I think it was just maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I think it was the Wolves game. I think he was a major doubt for the Wolves game, but he started. Brucey always does that. We've had doubts over, I think, Callum Wilson and Almiron, Saint-Maximin over the past few weeks, and they've gone in. So I don't know what Brucey's playing at. You never know what's going on in his mind. I haven't got a clue. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the crack with Jamal Lascelles is, but at the minute he is a doubt. He also wasn't too specific on the COVID point. He mentioned that there's 2 or 3 isolating at the minute. We're struggling with COVID, he says. 2 or 3 self-isolating, but I don't want to get too much into it. That's alright then. So we just don't know who's in the squad. We don't know who the ones isolating are, the 2 or the 3, or the coaching staff, or who are they? As always, Martin Dubravka is out. Hopefully it's not going to be too long before we see him. And Paul Dummett as well, he's out, although he shouldn't be too far along either. For Crystal Palace, on their injury front, it's actually okay apart from the main one. The key player, who's probably too good for Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha. He is self-isolating. I don't think it's an injury. I think it's a COVID issue. He's still got a couple of days. I think he's meant to be isolating until Saturday. So that just puts him in the bracket. Good timing. Lovely timing for us. So yeah, Zaha's isolating until Saturday. So he's out of this game. The captain, Luka Milivojevic, he's back now from self-isolation. He's ready to go back into the squad. And Andros Townsend, I heard during the week, former Newcastle player, that he was a major doubt. Unlikely to play, but what he said this morning, that their squad's pretty much the same as what it was in that defeat to Burnley on Monday, in which Andros Townsend played the full 90 minutes. So I guess that's a lie. Let's get into the lineup there then, and with Dubravka out, of course, Carl Darlow being my key player this season. A bunch of great performances, last week included. And the back five. I'm predicting 5. Do I want to see 5? Do I fuck? Mate, it's Crystal Palace. No disrespect, they're not that good, and without Zaha, nah. Fucking Y football, it's almost as bad. Well, I was going to say it's almost as bad as Brucey Ball. It's not. It's not really that bad, but, you know, like, without Zaha, he's that key player. Like, yeah, they've still got a few decent players. Andros Townsend, Jordan Ayew, Benteke, he was good in, like, 2013 or something, but I'd just say 5 at the back, and especially if Lascelles is out, it's an opportunity to go to a more attacking formation, but I just don't think Brucey's comfortable playing 4 at the back, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, whatever it is. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately, so my 5 at the back. The 3 along the back will be Fabian Schär, Federico Fernandez, and Kieran Clark. Before today, I had one penciled up in which I'd be dropping Fabian Schär because he was absolutely stinking the other day. He's been stinking for about a year now, pretty much since Rafa left, really. I think Rafa took his soul with him. He's just a shadow of the man that he was 2 seasons ago, Fabian Schär. So I would have had Fernandez, Lascelles, and Clark. But if Lascelles isn't out, like I said before, he probably will play. If Brucey says he's a doubt, that means he's probably going to be the first one on the team sheet. But yeah, if Lascelles is out, I think that's pretty much all we've got in terms of 3 central defenders, with Dummett still being out. Emil Kraft could come in, but nah, I'd probably rather see them, to be fair. I think Clark as well. Clark's one that usually comes in. You don't really expect much from Kieran Clark. He's not like a first team, like, regular starter. But when he comes in, he's usually class. Like, you usually don't see him for a few months at a time. You kind of forget about him. Then he's like a surprise starter in the starting lineup, and he's fucking mint. Like, he actually is like a fan favourite in Newcastle, but last week was kind of the opposite of that. We haven't really seen him. I think the only game he's played this season was the first half of the Morecambe game. Came back after a long injury, then got another injury. So yeah, he came back last week and he just didn't really stand out, didn't really do anything special like he usually does, which was disappointing. So that would be my back 3, with Jacob Murphy as the right wing back. Last week, as I think with Ryan Fraser being out and Miggy Almiron just coming back from international duty, Murphy played a bit further forward, more as a winger, with Javier Manquillo coming back, but Manquillo didn't really impress that game either. First half especially was poor. I think just before he got taken off, he had a nearly 10 minute spell where he actually looked pretty good getting forward, because we're having some possession and some attack in the final third, which was a little bit weird right before they went and scored their goal and killed the game off. So yeah, like, Murphy has been impressing me wherever he plays, whether it's fullback, on the wing. Like, yeah, defensively he's not great, but he puts in an effort. He sticks a tackle in, he gets forward, he's quick. I like him, mate, to be honest. Like, I think in the Chelsea game, he was getting back, like, when he wasn't a defender, he was still tracking back, sticking some tackles in. So if Manquillo's going to play the way he did against Chelsea, then I would rather see Murphy, to be honest. On the left-hand side, Jamal Lewis, of course, the only left option that we'll have. He's one that's thriving as a wing-back. Like, he's another one who defensively isn't great, although I will give him his credit. I was very, very generous to him in player ratings for the Chelsea game. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out. I think I gave him an 8. Just because I wanted to. I don't actually think it was an 8 performance, but he surprised us. I think that's why. I think the expectations were surpassed. Like, he was class getting forward, as we know he can be. He's got pace and energy up and down the wing. He's got a great delivery, but it is defensively, he's very, very suspect. But I thought on Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember now. I don't know what day it is today. He was brilliant, and he had tough people to mark in Hakim Ziyech and Reece James. 2 great attacking players, and to be fair, he stuck to them pretty well. It is the positional sense that really, really worries me. He gets lost a lot, but I thought he was in the right place at the right time. Stuck in some tackles, and I thought he was really, really good. So if we play a 4 at the back, he might suffer because he will have to play a bit more defensively, whereas the 5 at the back allows him to get forward and do what he does best. In a midfield 2, a partnership I will be putting will be Isaac Hayden, who I thought he was great the other day. Just does what he does. We all know about Isaac Hayden, what a rock he can be. Great defensively, blah, blah, blah. Alongside him, last week was Sean Longstaff with John Joe Shelvey just coming back off injury, unused sub. I thought Sean Longstaff was poor as well, similar to Shaw. Where's he gone? Rafa got the best out of him. Brucey doesn't know what to do with him. So if Shelvey's back, if he's fully fit, if he's 100% back, Shelvey all day long. He's got that creative touch, he's got that spark, he can open up a pass. He's got more vision, he's got more creativity than what Sean Longstaff will. Although I will give him credit where credit's due. That shot that he had, that cannon off the bar, that was a taste of 2018 Sean Longstaff. So the formation I'll be going with is a 5-2-3, the good old Rafa formation. The formation that Bruce used when he first came in. He tried to do a few things. It just hasn't really worked out that much. I think that's pretty much what we played against Chelsea, to be fair. We did alright in some parts. We're just missing the key players. Wilson, especially. Almiron, Fraser. We're missing all of them. Like, that was the big thing. So, on the left, I'm going to go to... I'll be putting Miggy Almiron. I thought he was actually great when he came on. Meant to be jet-lagged. He was absolutely brilliant, getting stuck in, using his pace and energy, strength at the back, winning possession, getting forward. I thought he was brilliant, and I'll just say I'm not his biggest fan on the wing. I much prefer him as a number 10. I think he can get in the game more. He can create more. I think being out wide, like, he's not a winger. He's not the greatest crosser, but I think this formation is the best that we'll have right now because someone will have to miss out. In all honesty, I'd rather miss out a defender. I'd rather drop Shaw. I'd rather drop Fabian Shaw, play a 4-2-3-1 if Fraser was fit, which he's not, and stick Miggy in the middle. But I think for now, Miggy on the left, Saint-Maximin on the right, which is where he belongs, not as a striker, Steve Bruce. But in all honesty, Maxi's going to have to start pulling it out the bag now, like, because he's been poor the last few weeks, and yeah, he's been playing as a striker for most of them, and we all know that's not his position. I was getting really frustrated with seeing him up top. He was isolated, just as every Newcastle striker is. But yeah, on Saturday, Brucey did change up the formation, did stick like the 3 across the middle with Joe Linton, Saint-Maximin and Jacob Murphy, but it was just a bit more of the same. Just didn't really get involved, didn't create much, and yeah, I was just disappointed. Like me and Renty did actually talk after the Chelsea game and say like maybe he should get dropped. Maybe like use like the whole like Ayoze Perez tactic on him. Like Rafa would do that all the time. If Ayoze was playing shit, he would drop him for a couple of games. It would like get into his head and be like, look, you need to stop performing. And I think Maxi, he's just comfortable because he is the best player at the club. He's like our Wilfred Zaha. He stands out by a country mile, like a sore thumb. But like he's just not going to get drops. Like there's not really any competition there. But if Fraser was available, we could maybe stick Manquillo at right back or right wing back and use Murphy further forward because he has been impressed in the last few weeks. But I just think it would be a mistake to leave Saint-Maximin out because we know like when he is turned on, when he's got the horn, he's fucking mint. No, without Wilfred Zaha, honestly, we need to go to them. We need our best attack that we can. I'm just so disappointed that Ryan Fraser's not fit because I think if he was there with Maxi, Almiron, Wilson, we could fucking smash them. And up top, of course, Callum Wilson, the goal scorer. Hopefully he's fit enough to start because with Carroll out, Gale's still not fully fit. The only other option is Joe Linton, which I don't mind. I thought he was okay against Chelsea, but it's this striking instinct. He's good at getting back, winning the ball, holding it up, all that, but it's in front of goal. Callum Wilson's got the instinct, he's got the positional sense, right place at the right time, fox in the box, goal scorer, natural. That's what we want. I think Callum Wilson could have a field day tomorrow night, as long as Saint-Maximin's ready, as long as Almiron's ready, as long as we're not boring and negative Steve Bruce. If we actually have a bit of possession, a bit of intent going forward, I think that's why Murphy would probably work well there instead of Manquillo. He does get forward well. Same with Lewis. I think them four out wide, Murphy and Maxi on the right, Lewis, Almiron on the left. There's so much pace and creativity there, man. There's no reason to be so negative. With Shelvey back as well, opening up a pass in the middle of the field, Wilson up top to finish it off. There's no reason why we can't go there and get a result, but it is just the old Steve Bruce and Bruce VY. It's not going to be a classic. It's not going to be a great game, but I think there's something there for the take, and honestly do. We'll run through the bench, and we've got Mark Gillespie, Javier Manquillo, Emil Kraft, providing Jamal Lascelles isn't fully fit. If he starts, which he probably will, then that'll probably be a spot on the bench for either Fabian Shaw or Kieran Clark. Matt Ritchie, he's back hopefully. Sean Longstaff, Jeff Hendrick, and Joe Linton. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think. What would your lineup be? Give me a score prediction as well. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. Maxi, Wilson, and Jordan Ayew, the scorers. I never predict the scorers. I don't know why I've done that. Just gone for all the strikers, the likely options. So yeah, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Enjoy the game tomorrow night and enjoy SL.